All right, y'all. What's up? You know, we back again in your face with another episode of Smoking Word Podcast.
Welcome back, y'all. We are very, very excited, as we usually are for an episode.
All our episodes be lit. We always say we got a very, very special guest, but we mean it every time. I'm telling you,
every fucking time. So, welcome. This is y'all. This is very sentimental for me because this is literally my first cousin, my blood cousin.
Mm-hmm.
And he's joining us today all the way from St. Louis, Missouri, the city in which I was born.
St. Louis, mom.
Claire always try to say she from St. Louis. We be like, okay,
it's on my passport and my birth certificate. How more official can you get than that?
She lived there 8 minutes.
I lived there 1 year.
Yeah.
Before I even knew y'all, but I represent Cincinnati as my hometown always and forever.
Y'all always mess with
definitely a Cincinnati girl, but 314. Listen, like I said, it's on my birth. That's what reminds me every time I go out of town and be like, your birthplace. It says Missouri, USA. And I'm like, damn,
that's right.
I'm not really technically not a natty ninja, but I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't play me. But St. Louis and Cincinnati are very great cities.
Yeah. They call them sisters.
They are twin cities. They are very, very much alike. But let's get into it. Introduce yourself, Cuzzo.
Good morning, well, good evening, everybody. Cincinnati, and what's going on? I'm so honored to be here with my cousin and my nieces alike. You dig? I'm on the podcast. I said podcast.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Smoke podcast show. You know what I mean? So I'm holding it down and representing for our family. Just letting my cousin and my young ladies alike know that I'm honored to be here in Cincinnati. Cincinnati's been a great host city. I've had a wonderful time. And
We've been kicking it.
We've been kicking it.
That's
hard.
great. We love to hear that.
Yeah, so
we feel like it's a gem of a place too.
It's definitely that. You know, for a first time that's never been here and seeing it for the first time, absolutely wonderful. It's lovely. I'm
great to hear.
And we still rocking. It's still early.
Yeah. You said you've been to Cleveland.
I've been to Cleveland. Cleveland is hot, but it's a different energy. Yeah, it's a little different energy. I live in Cleveland too. Yeah, I got family in Cleveland too. So it's just a little different energy. You know what I mean? Yeah, but it was nice. And then with the festival and just being amongst that crowd and people coming from all over the country to be in this particular spot. Yeah, you know what I mean.
So we
first hand on that. You know what I mean? So it's been wonderful. It's been great.
We've been having a real good time and just, reconnect.
CJ's a good host always.
Great host. My little cousin's a great host. Beautiful diamond.
I'm trying, y'all. I'm out here just trying to live good, live righteously and pure. That's all I can try to do.
Right. That should be everybody's goal, but I don't know what some of y'all
right. We don't know what everybody y'all.
But we know that everybody's not on the same page. But if you're here, then you're somewhere, you're at least halfway there, right? Right. You're joining us.
You're one of us, like we always say. You're one of us.
You fam.
But I gotta rant sometimes,
Man.
Well, I think that still is very fitting, as we talk about Cincinnati, St. Louis connection, when it comes to them being German-based twin cities.
Yes, beer town.
Yeah, where we headed with this convo. I think it all makes sense, So
it does.
You want to tell us a little bit more about your background and what brought you to, just all of that. We got a lot to ground to cover.
We do.
I'm on man.
It sounds like you done did so much.
Yeah, I've been in the trenches, but my name is OJ Howard Jr. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. I graduated from Riverview Gardens, 1984. From graduation from high school, I served in the United States Army. In the military, back then, the MOS was called your job. What your job was, I was a transportation specialist. So in that field, all I did in my military term was drive for military and civilian dignitaries. So with that was my whole tour. I mean, I had to certify to get my 18-wheel tractor trailer license and things after that. But once those things were accomplished, you were selected to be ABC 123, and I happened to be selected for my position in that, and that's what I did my whole tour. So after my military bid, I worked for the government in St. Louis, Missouri for 23 years, and I was a liaison there. And what I mean by being a liaison, I was a carrier. All I did was run mail distribution. So with that, I did that throughout the government for 23 years. I retired. From there, the Lord always touched me and say, kindergarten teacher, kindergarten teacher, kindergarten teacher. Never really having the time before because of what my commitments was. So now that I had the space, I wanted to honor that and tap into that and see what that was about. And in studying elementary education, it brought me to the classroom of actually being in the classroom. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Where it went from, where in this particular school, being a private school, we had the privilege of being a parent and actually sitting in the class and being a teacher's aide. So that was also a blessing, along with me being in the classroom and being in the classroom. So being in the classroom, in a traditional sense, in a student body of 30, I was the only male. So I had 29 queens and I was the only king. And I was born riding like that in the process of going through school. And just, because I was the only male in my class. And though that's a profession that it's got to be in your spirit. Everybody's not built for that.
For sure.
And that's not to throw darts. You just got to have a certain, that's just what it is, staying in your lane. And that was something that's always I wanted to do. So that wasn't against the grain for me, because I know that's what the Lord always tapped into my spirit. So navigating into that and getting in that arena, going to school and having a hands-on experience with them put you in a whole level of responsibility and put you in a whole mindset of nurturing, because you understand that they're developing. And then when you go through the psychological end of it and learn, you say, man, I'm a bad parent, I'm not doing it the right way. Well, yes, you are. There's no book on it. It's just the steps you have to take to nurture their spirit to get from 2 years old to 5 years old to 7 years. That's a process.
Right.
So you develop what we call DAP, developing appropriate practice. So you're working with your sensory proper practice, trying to get them in the concepts of how to do things without hurting themselves and growing at the same time. So with that, when you get to now where, say for instance, my internship was daycare, and I'm telling you, you work for them babies don't work for you. You hear me, baby? I'm telling you.
As you should. It's expensive enough.
Let me tell you, baby. Let me tell you. An intern, because you got to feel where you at. Is this your bracket, really, or age appropriate? So you see where you at. So I'm in the jungle. I'm in the trenches, and that's daycare. And so that's babies from 6 months to 3 years old, 4 years old. So with that parameter there, you got all kind of stuff going on. But I would have to be at work 6 in the morning, and by 1 o'clock that afternoon, I was a two-piece. I would sleep from 1:30 to 8 at night. You know what I'm saying? It'll wore you out, but it's a good wore out. You know what I'm saying? When I say it's a good wore out, once you develop them where they recognize you, because they developing and learning you too. Right. You know what I mean? But once they get that nurturing aspect and all that's before they be good, it's a hug and squeeze.
Right.
It's a
so
different
sweet.
vibe. It's sweet. It's an energy level, but it's also overseeing, you know what I'm saying? They tugging on the Tonka trucks over here, got to take a diaper change, over here got to check the temperature. Man, it's just a lot going on. So when you have that dynamic of learning and being hands-on, you understand the elements of nurturing. You understand the elements of patience. You understand the understanding of how they feel. Because a lot of them try to talk back at you. They don't know what they're saying, but they letting you, hey, you know what I mean? So you have to understand the elements of what it takes to be in that nurturing state. Because if you're not nurturing, you're not going to be effective. That's just my way of looking at it. See, when we came up, the discipline was the hot seat. You got to hit, the red rope. That's dead, for me.
We learned from that.
We learned from that. That got
the
us
research
together.
is there.
That got us together, though. That got us together, but now that power is taken out of our hands.
Right.
So now, for me, the new discipline is a hug. That's my new discipline. Because I want to get to where you at.
Because why are you acting out?
Right, what's the matter? You know what I'm saying? So I want to humble myself to get to your level, little Johnny, little Diane, on what's really going on. You know what I'm saying? What's the matter? So once I tap into that, now I can make myself assertive to where now I can nurture their spirit. Because if you can't tap into their spirit, you're not going to tap into what they're trying to deliver. That's just my way of thinking. Like my philosophy is in teaching my babies. I'm not a rah. You know what I'm saying? I got my military, I got all that. But it's not about that. That comes in different cycles.
Right.
But the intro, it's a nurture.
So before we get so much into teaching, let's take it back. You just mentioned the military.
Right.
So you lived in Germany for how long now?
I was in Germany for 4 years.
Yeah.
Yes, and loved it. And they had to kick me out. I was trying to extend again. You know what I'm saying? And this was in the 80s and we was kicking it. Anybody in the 80s will tell you. Germany, Frankfurt, Germany,
It was lit?
Lit. I'm talking about my life. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
just imagine from 18 to 22 doing it. The best of everything. Transportation.
So that's like your college.
Getting
Getting to see a whole nother part of the world that early.
Yes, ma'am. And learning a different culture, different language, different money currency, the whole nine.
We don't got no German kids running around.
No, I'm good on that. But it might have been something different if I extended it one more year. You know what I mean? 2 more years might be a different play. But it was lovely. I'm talking about lovely. I couldn't tell you nothing different. But also being over there, you learned a lot through history and just the geographics of what's going on, the dynamics around you. And I'm saying to myself, now mind you, this is in the 80s. This is mid-80s. You know what I'm saying? In my mind, going to school, let's you say, diarrhea Anne Frank, for example. You know, just converting from the States to Germany, where I'm at now. You know what I mean? If I'm going on timeline, that happened in 44, 46, 1944 to 46, where everything kind of took place and, you know, took it for the turn for the worse. 40 years later, 86, I'm riding around the Autobahn that was just blown off the map 40 years earlier. And if you was to walk that and see that, you would think it's never been touched.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So in my mind, I'm saying, wow. Because I'm traveling all up and down Europe. I'm a transportation. I'm 18-wheel tractor trailers. I'm delivering cargo, priority cargo all over the country. So I'm seeing everything firsthand. Getting my license, getting my certification, doing the things needed to be a specialist. So we got to put the wheel behind the miles and make it work. So I'm down here doing it. So with that, I'm seeing the geographic and saying, wow, German, just appreciating again where you are. I've never seen that much work done in that type of time frame, and the best of everything. I'm talking about architectural, the highway system, which is their Autobahn, their castles, their cathedrals, their transportation system, best of the world, the manufactured vehicles, Mercedes, Benz, Jags, Audi, Porsches, BMW, that's right there.
That's over there, so it's
that's right like there. That's the garage.
Yeah.
So just think all that in 40 years, and we can't get our grass cut in our community park in 20. Come on, guys, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? I'm just in my mind.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We can't get our community grass cut in 20 years, and they done built the whole country.
Get a grocery store.
Right, and we done built the whole country in 40 from the ground up. You know what I'm saying? But we're letting me know that we was good over there. I'm in the PX, and the PX is like a military grocery store where you go to get everything you need to lock in, lock out. And I was telling Cuzzo, like I said, it's the mid-80s. I'm over here fresh. I still don't really know what I'm looking at sign-wise, but I'm from the hood. I'm still can put things together. And there's this little bitty German girl. She was so beautiful. She was with her mom. And Run DMC came on the big screen with Rock This Way, and it was the Rock This Way version. And the little girl snatched out her mommy hand and say, "Look, mommy, Run DMC." And she was so excited. And that let me know from a black man perspective, oh, they see us in a different light.
Right.
And they love brothers over there. When I tell you, when we was over there balling,
I heard
we was over there balling. They love brothers because we knew how to act. You know what I'm saying? We was over there like movie stars. And you guys said we were still young. So everything was wide open. You know what I mean? So it was a beautiful experience to me. I went over there, learned the language, learned how to count my money. By 6 months, I was doing what the Germans do. I was up there in the pizzeria.
Doing what the Germans do.
I'm doing what they doing. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to lock in. I'm trying to figure out what it's all about. You know what I mean? I don't know how long I'm going to be here. So by the time I'm going to be here, I want to experience it. You know what I'm saying? So I learned the language, learned how to count my money, learn how to get around. And once I got the beanie, I'm, you know.
The beanie is
you know what I'm saying? The beanie, I'm open now.
You was running shit.
Yeah, I'm running it. You know what I'm talking about? I had my special ed fade then at 18. I was on a whole nother level. You know what I'm talking about? I was dangerous back in them days. Then I'm trying to knock you down. It was over.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I was military. We getting it in. You know what I'm saying?
And they probably keep it nice and roll out the red carpet for y'all.
It was nice. You know what I'm saying? It was nice for us, you know, but I wouldn't advise that now. It's a different energy now. You know what I'm saying?
That's a whole nother
Back
combo.
then we was sold out. It was the 80s. We didn't know what was going on. Wasn't no internet, wasn't no cell phones. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't none of that. You know what I mean? 8:30 was 8:30.
You're right.
Time was everything. You know what I mean? So those are things, going back to the basics again. Military, government, teaching, then I became an author, just being through the concepts of working with the children. And just working with the babies, I wanted to put something together that'd be for life as infamy. That's the ABCs, that's our language, that's our syllabus, that's how they learn to read through the alphabet. So I said, let me put something simple that I can put with them that they can relate to, that not only they can see themselves in their likeness and build a sense of purpose, but also build character, where they can see themselves in their likeness, appreciate that, love on that, and build on the steps to how to be a better person. You know what I'm saying? So we got to put that in their spirit young so they can walk like that, talk like that, act like that. So once they get that in their system, they're not going to veer off that too much.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we got to get that right out the box. So with my babies in my class, you can check my pod on where I'm at. RJ Lakers 66 Instagram. You can check it for yourself. I got rules. I don't give babies options. When they got options, they got you running around in circles. Daycare.
We do need some parenting 101 classes these days.
You know what I'm saying? I don't have no options. We got rules, and this is our rules, and this is how we gonna get down, and this is how we gonna move. And once they know that, they gonna move accordingly because they know it's done through a nurturing aspect. It's not a demonic. It's not rah, rah, rah. You're not gonna tap in. You're not gonna get the best of them with that.
Right.
Once they know you care, it's over. They gonna be wanting to do extra on top of extra to make sure they're doing what they need to do and make you happy because they want to let you know I care too. So once they see you care, they're gonna care. I don't care if you 5, 10, 15, 17. Once they see you care and put an invested interest in them, they're gonna open up and care back. But that's your job as an adult to nurture that along. And mind you, I'm working from 4-year-olds to 7-year-olds, so everything is different hats. Mommy hat, daddy hat, counselor hat, principal hat, you know what I'm saying, nurturing hat, those are different hats. You know what I'm saying, because all the different babies are different. So you got to know how they coming. The only way you know how they coming is tapping into their spirit. I'm telling y'all, queens, it's nothing like walking into your classroom and your baby's knocking you down at 8 o'clock in the morning. Knocking you down to see you. See, they don't know how to perpetrate. You know what I'm saying? Right. They coming with the energy. So when you see that, you can't do nothing but tap in and want to give them the best that you got. Because where I'm in my age group, they get the raw treatment. We coming through. We the kindergarten. What y'all talking about? We loud. We play hard, but we work hard. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what we need, passionate people in the world again. You know? And I know the teachers
we gotta get
going
the
through it right
we
now.
gotta
You
get
know,
the education and the administrators, baby. Let me tell you, they deserve some diamond crowns and whatever robes y'all can give them to. Give them their props, baby. I got the utmost respect for teachers and educators. The utmost respect. And that's just on the sub-level tapping in. Let me tell you, they are immaculate. I'm talking about they are wonderful people, you know what I'm saying? We gotta support that. Because if you lose that aspect of it, you lost a generation.
100%.
And like we just tapped in earlier, half of our babies can't read past the 3rd grade.
That's it's happening now. Like,
we just tapped in and did the number. What was the numbers, Cuzzo?
54% of Americans do not, American adults do not read above the 6th grade level.
So they can't, they can't help their babies with their homework, so they can't. So it's a
But education has kind of went downhill, and this is a good pivot into our word of the day because as Poo-Poo and I were catching up, Poo-Poo, I'm sorry, RJ.
I'm used to that.
As we were catching up, he was telling me about his time in Germany and stuff, and you visited Hitler's the Eagle's Nest.
Eagle's Nest. And it was amazing.
And that's in Austria,
correct. And it's called the Eagle's Nest. That was his couch. That was his headquarters. And what I did in the military, like I said, I was transportation. I escorted military and civilian dignitaries, and that was one of the tour spots. And seeing that was incredible when you go into just the history and up to 40 to 80 and seeing how it's still preserved.
Because that's not that long.
It's
not. That's what I'm telling you. But I'm seeing it live from being in my English classroom with Miss Edwards to now actually in this hallway.
Living it.
I mean, on this hallway. I mean, this living room. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying to myself, wow. Everything was just, like I said, on a whole nother level of just detail, architect, structure. It was beautiful. Not to say what he did was because it was horrible. I'm not saying. I'm just saying the things that led to that and how history brings you back full circle. And if you thinking, you saying, man, that wasn't long ago, bro. And then to see all the progress that led to this point, man, that's a whole nother level of appreciation. And you have to be there to see it.
For sure.
Well, Hitler,
you know what I'm saying?
Hitler, we've been talking about demons, demonic shit. He pretty much takes the cake as far as atrocities.
He wasn't nothing to praise. That's not nothing that I'm speaking of where he lived and what we were introduced to. And just from an educational purpose of what I've learned in high school.
For sure.
And actually being there. Man, it's full circle. It's like, wow, this is incredible. You know what I'm saying? And everything that went behind it. So from my lane, it was just a beautiful experience to live life and be able to come from a different culture, different experience, and be able to pass that on. You know, take the good and the bad and run with it.
For sure.
You know?
So go ahead with the
so as we were talking, obviously Hitler, the diarrhea, and Frank came up, which if you don't know that book or who that person is, then just click the X at the top of the screen because we don't want you watching our shit. But anyway, you know, obviously everybody had to read that book. I read it, I think in elementary, junior high.
Curriculum. You know what I mean?
So obviously you know who she was. She was hiding with her family in Amsterdam during the Holocaust. I think everybody ended up getting killed outside of her father, who ended up finding her diary, which ended up in the publishing of her book, her journal. So rest in peace, Anne Frank. You know, one thing when I was talking to you, I kind of came up with the word of the day in talking to you about it because I was like, you know, she was an impressive, to me, young individual.
She was.
Which is a reflection of where education was in the 1940s. Even if we're talking Germany, still, I'm sure things ain't the same in a lot of countries around the world as far as literacy, education. And she was able to communicate very effortlessly in her diary, her feelings, her emotions, how she looked at the world, how she looked at the people around her was very sophisticated. For her age, I feel she was 13 when they went into hiding, and when she had just got the diary for her birthday, her 13th birthday. So we're talking a young lady, and some of her things were just powerful. So as I was looking through the word of the day, one that stuck out to us was how wonderful it is that nobody need wait a single moment before starting to improve the world. And I thought that was a very powerful statement for many different reasons, or a few different reasons that relate to this episode in particular. Considering you as a teacher going into helping the youth, and which automatically inevitably goes into how the world is going to operate. The children are the future, right? So
definitely. What we
pour into them, how we are intentional about pouring into the youth is how we can improve the world.
Right.
So I think that's very noble of you, cuz that you kind of pivoted from your military government background and changed it completely, kind of different flow and dealing with kindergartens. I've seen your page, and we'll throw some things up, you know, when you see how these kids love on my cousin. It's beautiful. It is.
I can tell just from the way he speaks of children, like that's important because you know, discipline without love is really like just abuse. You know what I mean?
Right. For a fact.
So like you can't really, nothing can land properly without love.
That's it. And see,
that's what the world is missing right now.
And that's exactly right, Queen. But also to add to that, if you're not disciplined, you're not safe. That's 5 of 55.
Yeah.
If you're not disciplined, you're not safe.
That could just be from like not running out in the street and getting hit by a car because I said stop.
Right.
Little stuff like
you're
that.
You're not disciplined, you're not safe. Regardless what's your age.
You
know, so
I agree.
That's it. In a nutshell, when it comes to our babies, have to understand they got a role to play. Mommy and daddy or granny or uncle or auntie telling you this for a reason. Don't take it personal. Listen, move, and go.
Right.
Because I don't give babies excuses. We got the blocks to build. We going to build. You giving me 2 hours PlayStation Thursday. You going to give me 2 hours Saturday morning. Library. Let's go.
Right.
what we talking about. You know what I mean? So,
right. I already be taking her to the library. They do the little story time.
Yeah.
Do it now before they start burning them bitches down.
It's important.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so hold the book up again. Go ahead and tell us a lot about it.
This is it. This is one of my books I self-published called The ABCs of Love. And like I said, the mission statement of my book, because that's the most important thing for me. What is this trying to say?
Right.
And the mission statement is this. Love is a verb, meaning an action word. And again, I'm working with babies, so it's simplistic. Everybody.
Straight to the point.
Straight to the point. Love is a verb, meaning an action word. And I want them to understand, if you're not putting no work behind it, you're not going to get the results you're looking for. You know we got a spelling test Friday. So you know if you don't practice a spelling test getting ready for Friday, there's a good chance you're not going to pass.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's a good chance
but that's also teaching them accountability.
That's where I'm going with it. So once you do that with a nurturing spirit, they're going to want to outshine. They're going to want to outperform. Or even if they do come where we got a 20-word spelling test and they got 15 out of 20, but they want to get a 20 for 20. Okay, bet. Let's do that 5 over.
Right.
Let's focus on that 5. Let's work that out. Now you feeling that much better because now you got a 20 for 20. You know what I'm saying? You might have had brain crap on them 5 that you went through and missed, but let's try it again. And I don't want you to be scared to try it again because now you upped your score. See,
that's life.
That's life. And now I'm the kind of coach where, hey, what you gonna do? Shoot the 3 or the bucket? I prefer you to shoot the 3. Why? Because it's 3 points, hit or miss. You could be fouled, go to the line and shoot 3, or just you gave yourself a chance to fail. You don't know if you can reach it if you don't shoot for it. If you don't shoot for it, you don't know if you can reach it.
Right.
So aim for it. Bring it outside in. Because that's where your fury is, outside. So the closer you get to it, the less the fear becomes. Because you're facing it. You see what I'm saying? You're challenging it now. The distance off, I can't make that. It's too deep. It's too far. Try it. Closer you get. Oh, that's where, okay. I'm up on it now. Your confidence to the ceiling now because you challenged yourself. When nobody said you could do that. But now at 7, you're doing that. And standing on your score. So Mr. Ricky can't come with a puppy and his windows down. Hey, I got some candy.
You ain't one of them.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Tricks
They call him Mr. Ricky license plates. Hey, we got a goofy out here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I know my letters are.
Yes, exactly. We got a goofy out here in the playground. My baby's on that they strap. You know what I'm talking about? And that's just nurturing their spirit. And it's a difference between being a teacher, like I said, cousin, being an educator. I look at myself as an educator.
Yeah.
See, because a teacher is someone that's going to teach you curriculum, make sure you got it, and that's what it is.
Right.
Educate, you're going to do that, but put some love on it with some life experiences that you can take beyond the classroom and work with it to build on. See, I'm in that lane because I'm not an informal. I'm an informal speaker. I want to talk with you, not at you. I'm not the smartest person in the room, so I want everybody's collaborate to make me better.
Right.
So we can bounce some ideas around to get better.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? See, from my lane and from my military experience and what I grew up in my structure, if you're not a good number 2, you can't be a good number 1. I didn't catch that. If you can't be a good number 2, you can't be a good number 1.
And if you can't be on a team, you can't be the coach.
You
like
know
if you don't know the game.
If you don't know what it is to be a team, you're not gonna be able to work the team concept.
Right.
So I want to be a good number 2. So my number 1 know when they take a vacation or when they do what they need to do, I can still hold the ship down. And ain't none stopped. So when it's time for promotion, it's time for me to move my thing. If he or her worth they self go, they want to take you up with them as they go. And that may not be under your department. That might be across town, another state, another city where they got to link up with HR and say, take care of my girl. I know she can handle it. You know what I'm saying? So it's all how you do things. And if you're doing it with love, what we say, cuz of good intentions, good results. You come with bad intentions, you're going to get bad results. That's in teaching.
It seems like a simple teaching.
But it's hard to execute. You know what I mean? So we got to humble ourselves, like I spoke of earlier, Queens. Until we match that and put that money into elementary education, we wasting our time. Because it was up to me, my babies got live shelves when they pop up in school. They got their thing right out the up. I said a shelf.
Right.
They not on no
Fresh.
packaged pizzas and no Ripley's and Red Hots. They coming fresh, ready to go.
I think they cook.
That's
what
where
they
it's
do in
coming.
other countries.
Oh, they right out the oven. You know what I'm saying? They coming to kindergarten breakfast. They swole ready for math class at 9. They can't sit still. They sit still because that breakfast on their stomach. Well, you got them on them fruit juices and Ripley's hot chips, and you dig they bouncing off the wall because they got all that sugar in them, and they ain't got what they need to calm down.
Yeah,
we got to put that nutrition.
That's a whole other
episode.
But we don't associate
You know
it with
what I mean?
education. But it goes hand in hand.
It goes hand, especially at that age.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Especially when your brain's developing.
That's the most needed. So if I'm running the show and I hit a couple of million, I'm building a charter school ground up, and I gotta have a shelf.
We got Benny Hanna.
I gotta have a shelf. Breakfast, lunch, and a brownie bag to go home with, just in case you ain't got nothing
some
at
of
the
these
house.
kids don't got nothing.
That's what I'm talking about. So we gotta make sure you good for the next morning. Have your next hot waffles or oatmeal and chicken or whatever else we doing. Right. You ready? You ready to go to school? You uniformed up. We finna make it happen. And I'm putting that energy behind where you ready to knock the doors down. You know what I'm saying? Because at my age, I'm not worried about a test score. I'm worried about, do you know how to act? Right. If you don't know how to act, you're not gonna know how to learn.
Do you know who you are?
You know what I'm saying? So in my lane, if you don't know how to act, you don't know how to learn. So we're gonna get that acting piece together. That's where character building
behavior
comes. Yeah, we're gonna tap into that. We're gonna nurture in that first, and then once we master that, well, we can understand what our movements are. Now we can worry about trying to be top 3 over here and top 3 over there. We're going to work to that.
So where can we find the book?
You can find this book on all outlets, Amazon, all book outlets that's carrying books. You can find it. Look it up. The ABCs
Yeah, we'll drop some links in the comments for sure. If y'all got any little ones, even grown people out there need to be reading, you know, and can gain something from the ABCs of love. So
we appreciate it.
This has been such a good episode. This is a near and dear episode to me because, like we were discussing earlier before we got up on here, my cousin and I had not seen each other for 25 years.
Right.
And when my father passed away in early 25, we reconnected. So this whole episode, this reconnection, this podcast link up is completely faded. And due to the Most High, like bringing us back together through somewhat of a tragedy, but the beauty that came out of it was the reconnection.
For sure.
So Cuzzo's on tour. He going around. He visiting. Where you going next, Cuz?
I'll be in Dallas.
Visiting my sister.
Yeah. Then I gotta go to New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just tapping in, and like I tell my cuz I'm on a family tour. I'm checking my people around the country.
I'm so glad
you're making the most of it too. You're doing other stuff right here. So gracious to come on our podcast.
Yeah, thank you so much for your time, your energy, and we appreciate you and want to give you all your flowers. What you're doing for these young kids.
Thank you.
Need more like you. Like
yeah, man.
For real.
Y'all hop in the comments. Go check out my cousin's book. Like I said, if you got any little ones that need something else on their shelf, this is the book for y'all. ABCs of Love.
And
what y'all get?
And I have another book that's out called Letter to My Daughter. That and the ABCs of Love. And a letter to my daughter is basically a love letter to her that's going to navigate her from the time she spit out to her first year in college.
Wow.
And it's a story between that. You know what I mean?
That's beautiful.
That's cool. My Instagram page is RJ Lakers 66.
Okay.
And my name, Facebook, same thing.
Yeah, we'll put everything in this description box, y'all. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Yeah. It's your girl, Clara J.
And your girl, Sasha P. And we out. Peace, y'all.
Peace. Yeah.